Tingling in hands during meditation. Tingling in the hands during meditation can feel gentle, strange, comforting, or distracting. Some people describe buzzing palms, warm fingertips, pulsing, pins and needles, or a quiet current moving through the hands. The important thing is to stay curious without immediately deciding that the sensation means something dramatic. Many readers search for phrases like, "Why do my hands tingle during meditation?" "Energy in hands during meditation," or "palms tingling spiritual meaning," because the experience feels too specific to ignore. The hands are expressive, sensitive, and deeply involved in how we pray, receive, touch, create, and hold attention. So when they start tingling in meditation, it can feel personal. Other search terms point to the same experience from different angles: buzzing hands during meditation, warm hands meditation, numb hands while meditating, pins and needles during meditation, and hands tingling during prayer. The language changes, but the underlying need is steady orientation. Still, the first move is not to label it too quickly. Hand tingling can be connected with posture, breathing, body activation, focused attention, emotional release, or subtle energetic sensitivity. A grounded approach gives the body room to settle before the mind starts building a story around the sensation. What hand tingling in meditation can feel like? The sensation is not the same for everyone. Some people notice it only in the fingertips. Others feel it in the palms, wrists, or the whole hand. It may show up on one side or both sides, and it may change as the meditation deepens. Tingling in the fingertips during meditation, buzzing or vibrating palms, warmth, pulsing, or pressure in the hands, a subtle magnetic feeling between the palms, pins and needles after sitting still for a while, a sense that the hands feel more awake than usual, hand warmth that feels like heat, pressure, or energy flow, numbness that may be posture-related rather than symbolic, hand tingling, prayer, and stillness. Hand sensations are often discussed in prayer, energy work, and meditation communities. Some people interpret buzzing palms as sensitivity in the hands. Others notice it when they place the hands on the heart, rest them on the lap, or sit with palms facing upward. That interpretation can be meaningful, but posture still matters. If the wrists are bent, shoulders are tight, elbows are compressed, or the hands stay still for a long time, tingling may have a simple physical cause. The grounded path is to check both spiritual context and body mechanics. Why the hands may tingle during meditation. Meditation changes your relationship with sensation. When the room gets quiet and your attention turns inward, small signals can become much more noticeable. A feeling that would be ignored during a busy day can suddenly feel vivid. Sometimes the reason is simple: posture, pressure on nerves, held tension, shallow breathing, or keeping the hands in one position for too long. Other times, the sensation appears with prayer, breath work, energy work, emotional processing, or deep concentration. In those moments, some readers experience the tingling as a subtle spiritual energy symptom. If you're practicing breath work or long-seated meditation, notice whether the hand tingling appears with faster breathing, anxiety, chest tightness, or feeling lightheaded. In that case, the first response is not to intensify the energy. It is to slow down, breathe naturally, and return to ordinary sensation. You do not have to dismiss that possibility. You also do not have to exaggerate it. The more useful question is whether the experience leaves you steadier, clearer, and more grounded. Is tingling in the hands a spiritual sign? It can feel meaningful, especially when it arrives with calm, warmth, compassion, or a deeper sense of presence. Some traditions associate the hands with receiving, giving, healing, prayer, or creative energy. That can be a helpful symbolic lens, but a sign is only useful if it leads to steadier awareness. If the tingling makes you anxious, obsessive, or eager to force a bigger experience, slow down. Spiritual interpretation works best after regulation, not before it. How to respond while it is happening. If the sensation feels mild and you remain calm, you can simply observe it. Let the hands be felt without trying to amplify the tingling. If it becomes distracting, return to the physical world around you. Relax your shoulders, jaw, and hands. Feel both feet or the chair underneath you. Open your eyes for a few breaths if the sensation intensifies. Change hand position if there is numbness, pain, or pins and needles. End the session gently if your body feels overwhelmed. when to take the sensation more seriously. A grounded spiritual practice does not ask you to ignore the body. If something feels physically concerning, get appropriate support. If the sensation feels energetically intense, but not medically urgent, reduce stimulation and return to simple grounding. Common questions about tingling hands during meditation. Why do my hands tingle when I meditate? It may be posture, breath, attention, nervous system activation, emotional release, or subtle energy sensitivity. Check the body first, then reflect on meaning after you feel settled. Are buzzing palms a sign of energy moving? Some people experience them that way, especially in prayer or meditation contexts. Still, buzzing palms alone are not proof. Look at calmness, groundedness, and what happens after the practice. Should I keep meditating if my hands go numb? Change position and pause. Numbness and pins and needles can be physical signals, especially if a nerve or circulation is being compressed. What to explore next? Hand tingling is often one part of a wider pattern. You may also notice heat in the body, chills, goosebumps, pressure, emotional waves, or feeling wired after meditation. Each sensation deserves careful observation without turning the whole experience into a guessing game.